Minnick gets the step. Around the crease and scores!
Raymeyer was in a great mood after the Greenwich game the other day.
I wonder why. He's only got the top team in the state of Connecticut, one of the best teams in the tri-state, and they are still undefeated.
He was mad at me.
Really?
I wore red. I forgot those were the Greenwich
I was going to
colors.
say, Jeff, get in line.
Yeah, I know. I told some of the Darien fans are, by the way.
You had an R for Rutgers on it, right?
I know, but the Darien people are all over me right now.
Oh, really?
Because I pick against the Blue Wave every week.
It wasn't the fact that you were wearing red, it was the fact that you were standing watching the game with Rich Albanizio?
No. You know what, Jim? A monumental week for Darien. Last Saturday, you go back 10 days ago, they beat their arch rivals New Canaan in overtime.
Yeah.
Their next game, you watched it. They went up to Yorktown, a team that beat them a year ago. And once again, Darien lined them up and knocked them down.
No, there's no doubt. And look at this. First quarter, Navy-bound sophomore, junior, Ian Burgoyne makes it 1-0. This is the sophomore, Colin Minicus. And he is just rising up the charts here as a player. Makes it 2-0. Remember, folks, this is on the road at Yorktown. You're just not supposed to come on the road at Yorktown and jump out like this. Jack Book makes it 3-0.
Daddy's a good guy.
It's amazing. I mean, they just had it rolling. Peter Lindley picks up the loose change in front. It was 5-0 Darien. I mean, Yorktown's got some great players. One of them is Connor Veracruz, the All-American, going to Rutgers. But guess what? The Yale-bounder Phil Hufford in between the pipes, the 3-year starter. No chance for Yorktown. It was 6-3 at this point, and Peter Lindley decides, you know what? I'm into it right now. Rips one left-hander, and then watch the UMass-bound southpaw once again. Quick release, one extra pass, rip. Top shelf, quality road victory of two of our top 20 teams.
Great job by Reed there, though, with the extra pass.
Oh, man.
Great job.
Reed is, the senior going to Bucknell, a floor general, a leader. You could just see they wanted all to run through him.
Well, Reed was upset last year. They were 12-8. Lost to Niski, beat them. Lost to Massapequa. This year, beat them.
Manhasset.
Lost to Yorktown, beat them. Guess who's next?
The Friars.
I will be there. That game's at Boyle Stadium in Stamford.
And by the way, I'm just going to tell you this. The Friars of St. Anthony's, we look at how those four teams have played this year. At this moment, this will be the toughest challenge for them.
Yeah, you're right.
To beat St. Anthony's.
No, you're right.
This will be the toughest challenge. But listen, give them credit.
Rolled into Steve Young Stadium Thursday night. I saw Scott Bulkley, the Greenwich coach, and right before the Bronxville game, I said, be honest with me. Is this a difficult game to play knowing what you have 2 days from now? And I give him credit. He said, yeah, it is. It is. But he goes, the guys were focused. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. We're looking ahead to Darien. How couldn't you be? But they were focused on this Bronxville team, a very good team that has played some of the best competition in the tri-state this year. And they have a wonderful pole in Charlie Terry, the junior going to Princeton. He got the scoring started 1-0. And then Jamie Paradise continued his magnificent year. Nice little deke on the doorstep. Tied it at 1. 40 seconds later, Paradise from behind the net going to find Bobby Goggin. And it's 2-1 Cardinals. And just like that, Kyle Foote to Paradise. And Greenwich gets 3 goals in a 2-minute span. Third quarter, it's 3-2. Foote to Luke Finneran. He's been playing wonderful lacrosse. The Cardinals up 4-2. And then Foote to Will Perry. Greenwich, they go on to win the game 7-4 afterwards. Finneran, who has just been playing wonderful lacrosse, talked about the win and what was on the doorstep.
You can never overlook a team, no matter who they are. I mean, we knew coming in Bronx was a great team, and we knew that we have a huge one on Saturday against Darien, which is probably one of the biggest games in the country. So we came in ready for this game, but we're definitely going to be ready for Saturday, too.
You know, we've got a great rivalry with them. Coach Bulkley used to play there and coach there, so it's big for him. We usually get a great scouting report, and vice versa, they do on us, too.
I wonder if Loyola has a barber.
Oh, come on. Foote's hair looks great, man. There was a picture in one of the Connecticut papers of the Greenwich signing day, all the kids that are signing. You don't need to look at the captions. I need to know which one was Foot going to Loyola to play lacrosse. The lacrosse guys, they have their own look. That is for sure.
They got the flow.
Yeah, listen, they flow. And good job by the Greenwich keeper, Tommy Rogan, in that game. 18 saves.
Yeah, Rogan was great, like he's been all year. Well, I said it a number of times last week. Had they both taken care of business on Thursday night, Greenwich and Darien, that Saturday, 1 o'clock in Darien, it would be the high school game of the week in America.
Yeah.
And for a half, it was. And once again, Darien took down a team that beat them a year ago. Johnny Reed scored the game winner against New Canaan in overtime, got the pass from his buddy Kyle Cornell, and just like that, it was 1-0, 40 seconds into the game. Then Reed gonna get the Harry Gillespie feed on the doorstep. Look at the footwork, beats Rogan. It's 3-1. Greenwich ties it at 3 when Gillespie gonna score to make it 4-3. He's very good, kind of underrated on this team.
He's the guy that beat Niskayuna in overtime, Harry the Hat.
Scored on kind of the old little hidden ball trick. Look at this. We talked about it before. You said it. Lindley in front of the cage is as crafty as anybody in the tri-state. Off the Reed shot, gets the rebound. And then here, Colin Minikis, just the sophomore, just playing wonderful lacrosse. And then another sophomore, Hudson Hamill. Look at the look right there to his buddy Minikis. I'll give it to you, brother. And then here, how about a nice little 4-6-3 lacrosse play? Ain't baseball. Niffin to Lindley to Minikis. It's 10-4 at that point. This was a 4-3 game at the half in Darien's favor. They have left no doubt now just how good they are. And I've gone on and on about some of the other defenses in the league this year. Greenwich, Ridgefield. Brad McCourty, captain, was sensational with the pull. Kyle Gifford, great. Avanchik, great. Phil Hufford, the goalie, great. And then Sammy Mays. I love big number 18. He took a shot right here in the throat. Right? Goes down, comes back in, was sensational. That's why I had to find Big Red after the game.
He's a Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, 4 goals against a great team like Greenwich with, such great scores. That's something to be proud of. And, I'm really proud of all the guys that came out. We played really hard, we showed the intensity, we communicated. So, my hat's off to Greenwich. They're a great team, but, we brought it today.
You have Yorktown on Thursday night. So how much time could you give Greenwich in prep for this game? Just one day?
I mean, yeah, we had pretty much prepared all week for Yorktown, and we came out yesterday and tried to just walk through some things. We were watching film, so we knew their offense. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do. We had a bunch of strategies coming in, and I think those all worked well.
John, you picked up right where you left off against New Canaan. You had the game overtime winner there. Good win against Yorktown, and this was a statement second half for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Greenwich is a great team, but we just got the best of them today. We played well, and were able to put them away.
John, did you have any idea that this team, 12-8 a year ago, would be as good as you are this year?
As a group, we had high expectations. Like last year was kind of a disappointment, so this year we wanted to come out and prove that we can compete.
What does this win say today to the rest of the FCX?
That we're legit and we're here to play.
John, you're making me look bad. I never pick you to win. I got to start picking this Darien team to win games.
It is what it is. Like we just come out here and try to compete and play our best.
He must be the only one at Darien who's not upset with me. I was hearing it from the parents.
They're starting to like when you go against them. That's good stuff.
I know. Well, you saw the red shirt. And that was really the only thing that upset Braemeier the whole day. So 12 games in, we did a little State of the Union after this big victory.
Well, as you know, you're only as good as your last game of the season. So we're certainly very happy with the 12-0 start. We're certainly happy with avenging our losses from last year. But the big picture is the playoffs, and we want to set ourselves up with good seeds. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't help. You never know. But we're happy with the way our team's playing. It's probably the best team defense we've been playing in years, and our team offense is just getting better as the young kids step up and the older kids start working together well.
When you have a season like you did a year ago, was the off season, was the mindset different? Why is this team so much better than last year's?
I think I said it before. My mindset was different. That we had a lot of things going wrong, and it starts from the top. So I had to do some things differently myself. Started with a meeting in September for the whole program, and we told them some of the things I wanted to focus on, and a lot of it had to do with team building and pride amongst the program, and getting away from the memeism and worrying about recruiting and all that kind of stuff. We certainly do. Want the kids to get into college. We do a good effort of that, and as I told them, I said, if we do a good job in the season, it usually takes care of itself. And I think that's been a good message. We've had some great senior leadership. Starting with our 3 captains and Brad McCarthy and Sam Mays and Kyle Cornell. And then obviously Phil's had a stellar year, coming off of a year where he was unhappy with his performance, and he's just stepped up as a leader himself. And it goes on. John Reed, Kyle Gifford, Peter Lindley, Owen Corbish. So our seniors have set the tone and been a great leadership group, and then the other younger kids are stepping up. Puglisi on a faceoff, Hermannick on the wings and playing short stick D. Obviously Ivanchek's a lockdown defender, whoever he takes. And we've gotten a lot out of Daniel Traver. So it's just been I want to keep mentioning everybody because it is a team thing. It's not just 1 or 2 hot shots.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. When you're going through it and you preach team in the off season, you just reeled off 13 names, so they've bought in.
Well, they should, because that's the only way we're going to be good. Is if they all buy into the team picture, they're all going to succeed, in one way, shape, or form. And some of them are going to be in the limelight and get the scores, and some are going to be, papers of shutting down the E. Obviously, the goalie is going to be always in a hot seat, and if he does well, he's going to, get the accolades. And then the face-off, he was the guy that was, given a hard time last year because he was a sophomore and young and being beaten by Ottens and Savio and stuff. And this year it's his turn, and he's been doing great.
How much credence do you put into the fact that you played Manhasset, they beat you a year ago, you beat them. You played Niski a year ago, you beat them. You played Yorktown a year ago, you beat them. All 3 of those teams beat you a year ago. You've lined them up, you've knocked them down. Thursday night in Stanford, St. Anthony, the one piece of that equation left.
Yeah, well, there's a reason you play St. Anthony's. They're one of the blue chip programs in the country, and we like to figure that we're in that class. But to be there, you have to beat them. We went to play them in Long Island last year, and we played a lousy first half, played a great second half, and fell a little short. Love the coaching staff, love the players over there. I think they're a class act. It's a great short-term rival, and that I'm hoping it's going to develop into a rivalry like we have with Greenwich and Yorktown and Manhasset. If we keep playing them, it'll be nothing but good things. But I hear they had a great win today against Yorktown. They had a great win against Chaminade. So my work's cut out for me in the next few days to get ready for them.
It'd be a perfect night to have lights at Darien High School Thursday, huh?
Yeah, go tell the government about that, And more politicking. I won't see it until I'm probably 6 feet under.
The government.
I gave him that one as a layup.
What are you, Braemar, going to walk in protest through the streets of Darien? We want lights.
They can't get those lights. He's, 5 games now away from 500. Right. So they're definitely in. Right now, it's very simple. I think the 8th team that's going to get in to the FCAC playoffs will be the winner of the Wilton Ward game, and they play this Friday. So that is a huge game. The loser, to me, will not get in. McMahon suffered their first loss of the season. They got blown out by St. Joe's. A great comeback victory in overtime, 10-9 against Wilton. Josh Miller, the goalie, playing great. Mitch Bartolo, Chris Gatt playing wonderful lacrosse for Stockfish right now. So they are definitely in the postseason. They have a tough week though.
There was a little game within the game there because Scotty Bulkley, the Greenwich coach, was one time Jeff Braemar assistant. You got to like that. Jeff Braemar in his 31st year, Mike, and it's like, remember, that was May 10th, that game. They got their 12th win.
Yep.
They finished last year with 12 wins.
There you go. Chaminade and Fairfield Prep, can it be a rivalry when one team dominates as much as Chaminade has had? In the last 10 games, Chaminade now has won 8 of the 10. And it could have been a week where Fairfield Prep beat both St. Anthony's and Chaminade. They lost on Monday in overtime. And here's the kids from Long Island getting it started. Carney Mann makes it 1-0 Flyer. So they had that horrible trip up to Fairfield. The bus, the traffic was a nightmare. Didn't matter. Now it's tied at 1. John Edmonds. Look at the teamwork right out in front of the cage. 2-1 for Smolkeise's kids. Then Prep on the break. Look at Burke Smith. Has had just a very, very good year for the kids from the Prep. On the doorstep to Edmonds, he gets another, and FP's up 3-1. They have a 1-goal lead now, late in the half, time winding down. Man, this was a huge one. He had 3 in the game, but this right before the horn sound with 4 seconds left tied it at 6. It's now tied at 7. Pat Lambert, very, very good player for the Jesuits, gets those hands free, and FP had an 8-7 lead. Enter Sam Bonafide. He had played great lacrosse all week, and now he just took over this game. Downstairs, tied it at 8. They're down 2 now. On the break, guess who? The Princeton bounder. Gonna get the pass in the slot, and he's just going right down Broadway. Princeton gonna love that. Makes it a 1-goal game. They're gonna love this as well. Austin Sims now, bound for Princeton, headed to the goal there. Jesuits in good shape, up 11-9. Not so fast. Here comes Chaminade. They're down 11-10 at this point. Maryland bound, Tommy O'Connell, a wonderful athlete. Look at the duck move. Regroups. I don't need a stick. I just got the goal. And then here off the infraction, they blow the whistle, and here goes Bonafide. He does what you've said all year, go right to the goal.
Hey, listen, attack in that moment. Bonafide, arguably their best player, he wants the ball on his stick in that moment, and he ends the game.
Tough loss for Prep, because right now, that's 4 losses. They've beaten everybody in their league. But here's the problem when you look at a top 20 poll. You went and played Del Barton, you lost. You went and played St. Anthony's. You lost in overtime, a game you were up 4. A game against Chaminade at home, you lose. How much longer does Prep stay in the poll, or are they going all together tomorrow?
Quality losses, if there are some.
But you got to. But here's the thing: if they stay in, it will be based on that victory against Greenwich. If they stay in, that will be the thing that keeps Small-Kice kids.
And Small-Kice was not happy that you picked him in that game, right?
No.
Hey, listen, memo there too. On the restart, you see Sam, just go on that restart.
Really? We gotta go.